we're talking about stress eating tips and how to manage these things. Now, stress eating, if you saw my post earlier today, you might have seen that it is very common. And it's a habit. It's a habit. It's a coping mechanism that we deal with stress for, right? Our emotions, our stress, everything. We're moms. We're dealing with lots and lots of stress all day, every day. Maybe you work full time. You have stress in your life. And a lot of times we turn to food in order to cope with that feelings. And we end up stress eating, and then we feel guilty for stress eating. And then we feel like we've thrown in the towel for everything that we've just tried to accomplish as far as maybe weight loss or your health goals, toning, or whatever you're trying to achieve. And then we just say, screw it, I'm not going to do it anymore, right? And we use it as our excuse to just constantly be in this self-sabotage cycle. So I want to talk a little bit about it and how to overcome it. Stay tuned till the end because I have a very fun free opportunity for you guys to work with me. So tip number 1, understanding your triggers for stress and emotional eating is super important. If you know what triggers are really going to set you off, say, for example, your kids are screaming all day and you're just frustrated to no end, or you have had a really bad day at work and you just want to come home and unwind and just kind of eat whatever is in sight. Or maybe you've had a situation between a friend or a relative that has just gone awry and you really don't know how to deal with it. And so you just turn to food because it's comfort. It's what you know. That's all part of emotional eating, stress eating. And knowing what sets you off is like one of the first things you can do in order to really recognize what triggers set you off. And so this takes a little more deep reflection for you to just recognize what's happening in the moment. And so kind of making mental notes when you do fall into this self-sabotage, stress eating cycle, what just happened? Tell yourself, oh, this is what just happened and this is what I just did. Or if you catch yourself before that, then you can kind of see, all right, this just happened to me, whatever event it was. And now I'm able to just say, okay, when this happens in the future, I can better understand it and I can better manage it and cope with it. So that's the idea. Tip number 2, as you go for the food, so you're stress eating, as you go in for the food, stop yourself and then ask, am I eating this because I'm hungry? Or am I eating this because I'm stressed? It's really, really important for you to recognize what's going on here. Are you really actually hungry? Are you going for the food? Maybe you don't recognize it is a stress coping mechanism and you're just going for food because you are stressed. So taking that moment, blocking yourself from saying, am I hungry or am I stressed? Why do I really want this food? Maybe you really are hungry and maybe you can just say, I want to eat this right now, but maybe it is stress. Maybe it's like, God, I just had a bad day and I just want to go straight to the pantry and eat a whole bunch of cookies, right? And so stopping yourself and giving yourself that moment of like, wait, what am I doing here? It knocks you out of that, almost like you have blinders on and knocks your blinders right off. And you can just go straight into, am I eating this because I'm hungry? Am I really hungry? Or am I eating this because I'm stressed or I have an emotion of some sort that I need to address, right? So tip number 3, attempt to eliminate any of the go-to foods in the house and make it harder for impulse decision. That question and answer, of am I hungry or am I stressed? That's impulse, that you're going straight to the pantry for something. So when you get to the pantry, if you have almost eliminated the foods that are your go-tos, and we all know like what are go-to foods. Mine, I know if I have M&M of any type of candy in the house, like I will find a reason to go and eat them. It used to be Oreos for me. And so if you start to eliminate some of the foods, some of your go-to foods in the house, and I say attempt in a very light way, because I do understand we're moms, we have kids, our kids like to eat certain foods. And so if you attempt to, eliminate or reduce the number of go-to stress eater foods, then that impulse is removed. And so it makes it harder for you to go for it, right? So that is another way for you to kind of overcome or try to stop yourself from immediately eating something that you might not want to be eating at that moment. Tip number 4. This one's really, really big, and I want to remind you guys that we are all human. I am a human. You're a human. We're not perfect. We aren't perfect. And I don't care what you see on Instagram. I don't care what you see on Facebook. We aren't perfect. We have flaws, and I even make mistakes. Let me tell you a story really quickly. Last weekend, I literally bought a Costco size cheese puff, like, the cheese puffs, the really good cheese puffs, the ones, you're not supposed to have because they're made of like nothing. I bought a whole Costco sized bucket of them because my daughter wanted them. No, my daughter didn't. It wasn't just my daughter. It was me. I was definitely stressed last weekend, and I caved. I caved to buying it. So there it is. It's in the house. And guess who, would take a few and take a few more and then fill up another and then another and another and another. And like, until I eliminated that food from my house, I finally told the kids by like Sunday or Monday, I was like, guys, finish what you want and the rest is going in the trash, because I cannot have this around the house, because I know I just keep sneaking foods, right? So understanding that will happen, and when it happens, to be okay with it. I was totally okay with it after it happened. Did I need to be eating those cheese puffs? No. But I can't go back and change that. I can't make the decision in the past. I can only make future decisions, and I can change it. So I made the future decision to get rid of it and get it out of my house, because I knew it was preventing me from really focusing on what I knew I wanted to do. I did not want to be eating that. I put on weight. I'll be honest, I have put on weight and I haven't taken it back off yet. And I just keep coming up with excuses. So we're all fighting those excuses sometimes. But giving yourself some grace and saying, you know what, it is okay. Life has its ebbs and flows, and we need to know that we don't need to be guilty about it. We don't need to throw in the towel in our goals. It just means you had a bump on the road, and just keep going. Make better decisions in the future, and don't worry about what happened in the past. I hope that I am sharing with you guys some value that you can take away from this and really try to implement them in your own journey. But if you are having trouble implementing them, here's my little freebie for you. This week only, I'm opening up 10 20-minute one-on-one spots. So that's me and you for 20 minutes. We're going to talk about your stress eating struggles and how to manage it. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to take what you are struggling with right now and how to implement them into your life, right? So this is my freebie to you. This is my gift to you. And so if you aren't currently working with me and you are interested in doing this freebie 20-minute coaching session with me, I am offering them. So comment in the comment section saying I'm interested, or you can send me a direct message if you prefer to send me a private message that way, and we could talk about times and how to schedule that. So this is my gift to you guys. I want to really help you, give back to you, and share with you what the systems that have helped me truly see results, truly keep going with consistency over time, how I give myself grace, and how I have seen my goals just flourish over years and years of work. And I want that for you too, without feeling frustrated and without feeling defeated when you do fall off the wagon. And I want to be able to help pick you back up and say, you got this, mama. I'm there for you. So freebie for you. I only have 10 spots. And when those 10 spots are filled, that's it. And it's this week only, 20-minute one-on-one coaching session with me. You and me, we're going to work together. We're going to figure out the stress eating in your life and how to manage it in the future.